All right, so I'm gonna try to keep this as short and sweet as possible. Save you some time from having to go from video to video. Just kind of explain some things that I wish I knew when I first started playing, and some things that either aren't really explained that well, or if you're anything like me and you just skip through the story stuff, you might have missed it. So I'm just gonna cover a couple of things real quick. Hopefully, make your lives a little bit easier. So here we are on the character selection screen. One thing I'd like to point out: if you haven't played First Descendant yet, one of the first things you're going to do is have to pick your starting character. You get three options. Be careful, kind of actually look through the differences between the three, because once you select your initial character, you have to grind to unlock the other two that you didn't pick. So be careful with that. Just think about it, your play style, how you'd like to start the game. We weren't aware of that when we started, so me and my crew, we both picked the tank, and one other picked the ice lady. So we don't really have anybody to get an idea of what the third character is like. He's kind of a grenade specialist. So we'll have to work on unlocking him. So far, up here at the top, you have your mastery level. Each time you upgrade your mastery, it's kind of an account level, I guess you could say, because all of the bonuses do impact your different descendants. It adds module slots, things like that we'll talk about here in just a moment. So I did go with Ajax. Another thing I didn't know is that your characters do max at 40, so just be aware of that. Currently working on the second character that I've unlocked, and Bunny initially just, I don't know, everybody was using her, so I happened to unlock this one a little bit quicker right off the jump, so I've been leveling her up instead. But I am going to start with Ajax, show you guys a couple of things real quick. All right, so the first thing I'd like to show you is once you hit level 40 with your first character, you're going to get an item that is going to greatly expand your module capacity. Basically, it almost doubles it. From my understanding, through playing the game, you'll get two of them. After that, it's either grinding or paying real money for it. So kind of going back into, if you're into grinding things out, might want to keep that in mind, because that is a big thing. These modules are basically how you upgrade your character, increases your defense, skills, all that kind of fun stuff. And every time you level these individual modules up, their cost towards your capacity increases. So, being able to double this number, double your capacity, really increases the strength of your character. So again, the first time you hit 40, you'll get one through a quest. I haven't come across the second one yet, but I've heard from multiple sources that you do get a second one through gameplay. So there is that option. But after that, you will have to either grind for it or fork out real money. So keep that in mind. Now, some things in the modules that weren't exactly pointed out that I'd like to show you guys is over here on this side, you have your skill in your sub modules. I just happened to notice in the description of this one, it's the only reason I noticed it, but as you level up this particular module, it actually increases your overall module capacity. Now, there are multiple kinds of this one. I believe I have, short sword and kicking as well. They just kind of change up one of your abilities. But as you notice, as the enhancement level increases, your max module capacity increases as well. So I just wanted to point that out, because I don't think the quest line, the robot that you talk to that goes over most of the stuff with you, I don't think it pointed that out. And again, I just happened to notice that description. It's the only reason I knew that's a thing. So just wanted to point that out to any other newcomers to the game. When you get one of these abilities for your sub module, or your sub module, make sure you level that up, because it does increase your capacity. Another thing that I think it's kind of mentioned, I may have skipped past it real quickly, but you'll notice this module has a green number. That means that it is matching, if you can kind of see the R that's there. Up here at the top, by the capacity cost, you'll notice R, M, just different symbols. If they match, like right here, if I were to put an M module up here, it actually cuts the cost in half. So instead of this costing 8, it's actually 4. And one thing, a little tip I'll throw out there, is that it actually does come into play when you upgrade the module. You'll be able to upgrade the module twice for just a single cost when you have a matching slot that you can put it in. So that's pretty cool. Very, very helpful. Because again, the more of these modules you can add to your character, and definitely the more you can level them up, the stronger your character will be, especially once you hit the level 40 cap. All right, so let's talk about one of the most important areas in between missions in the hub. Now, there's a bunch of things going on in this area that I just want to cover with you guys real quickly. Hopefully, again, save you some time from having to go through multiple videos. So the first guy we'll talk about is your module master. As you increase your mastery level, you'll unlock various abilities. Like from the jump, you can't combine modules, things of that nature. Me personally, this is just my personal opinion, I think combining the modules is pretty worthless at this point. Especially if you're just doing the low level modules, you'll combine 4 and it seems to spit out just a random module of like matching class. So me personally, I pretty much avoid this. I actually dismantle. I'll just sort it by name so I can see what duplicates I have. I need to actually come through here and do a purge. But the materials that you'll get from dismantling your excess modules, you will need for crafting materials. So again, my recommendation would be to dismantle them, don't combine them. Maybe as you get into the late game and you're getting a bunch of duplicate higher level type modules, it might be worth it, but in the early game especially, I would dismantle versus combining. Now, along that same mindset is this guy right here.
Keep it short.
I don't purchase from him, nor do I sell my unused or unwanted weapons and things like that. I don't sell that stuff. I dismantle all of it because I have a lot of money. You just acquire money. I'm trying to think of a spot where it'll show it.
Now what do you want?
And then when you come in here.
Go on, I'm waiting.
Yeah. So without like doing any kind of, gold grinding or anything like that, I have over 2 million in gold. So selling your excess weapons just doesn't seem like a good investment to me. I would much rather get the crafting materials from it because I generally have this lady researching stuff for me constantly, and money's just never been a problem. So just throw that out there. I don't really recommend selling the weapons. I would dismantle them. Now let's talk about this lady. This is where you research weapons, descendants, various items. I'm going to give you some things I wish I knew when I first started playing the game, just to save you a little bit of time. So first and foremost, I'll just kind of go over what these things do real quick. These are how you can level up your weapons. When you craft a weapon, it'll be at level 1. So if it's basically the weapons you craft will be gold. So you'll need the precision exchangers for the gold ones. Basically the way the mechanic works is you'll go out and you'll farm a weapon. Like right now I'm dealing with I think the levels are like in the 50s. So say I craft a new weapon, it's level 1. I want to jump it up to 50 where I'm currently questing. So I'll go get a trash weapon. It's level 50, 51, whatever. And you'll take it to the workshop and you'll use this guy on a gold weapon or one of these guys on the purples it'll jump from its current level to whatever level of the trash item that you sacrifice. It'll jump up to, again, like in my area right now, I'm working in the 50s. So I would jump it up to the 50s. Now the adjustment control guys, these are kind of cool. You can re-roll the sub attributes of your weapon. But say you have one that you want to keep, say, I don't know, just off the top of my head, I think for my SMG I had hip fire accuracy that I wanted to hang on to. So you can use one of these to lock that substat, and when you re-roll the weapon, that stat will stay the same. It'll just be the other ones that are re-rolled. So you'll definitely want to have some of these around. Again, there's the 2 tiers. If the weapon's gold, you'll need the purple class. If it's just anything below that, you'll use the regular ones. These ion accelerators, basically the same idea, but for your reactor cores. You can bump up the levels of those using these guys. All right, so let's talk about the part that I wish I knew about a little quicker. It'll probably save me a lot of time. When there's something in here you want to craft, one of the first things the game has you craft is the thunder cage. So you can see the required parts down here. And one mechanic I will throw out while I'm thinking about it, you will want to craft more than one of these because you can upgrade the unique ability, but it does require the same weapon. So through the quest line, I basically got 2 Thunder Cages pretty quickly and was able to merge it to upgrade the unique ability. So just because you craft one of these guys, you're going to do it more than one. Like the Smithereens, I'm actually kind of glad I've been able to farm up a few extra pieces because, again, the more you can merge the same weapon in, the better the unique ability gets. But let's talk about the pieces. So once you have some of the pieces, you'll need to actually run the intercept missions or boss battles, whatever you want to call them, to actually get the part that you need. So you'll need to run a certain dungeon to acquire the blueprint, and then you'll need to run a certain intercept battle to actually unlock that blueprint and give you whatever pieces inside. Now, I think most of them have, I want to say 5. At least that's what I've seen so far. 5 possible items that you can get, and it's all RNG based on that. So you'll end up collecting most of the items just through playing the zone. Most of these things are just picked up. Yeah, like the super fluid you'll get out of the boxes and stuff that you'll see around the zones. Most of these things you can just pick up through playing. It's usually the one at the bottom, looks like in this case it might be 2 of them, that you'll have to run a specific mission to get it out of. But cool thing about it is, again, as you've noticed me kind of fail a couple of times, you can click on whichever of the missions that you want to do that have that possible drop, and it'll mark it right there on the map for you. So that is a pretty nice quality of life type situation. So just keep that in mind when you're farming those items. And just to illustrate one last thing, again, the weapon level transmission, that's where you can use sacrifice a weapon to upgrade the level of one of the weapons you're using. The readjustment is where you can roll the different substats to your weapon. The unique ability is where you'll merge 2 of the same weapons to increase the unique ability. And then the reactor enhancement is down here at the bottom. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, I just didn't really understand what I was looking at the first time I started going through these. But when you come into the Void Intercepts or the boss battles, we'll just go with, I think I have some for her. Yeah. So when you click on the different bosses, it'll actually show you if you have any of the patterns that can be opened after beating the boss. Once you down the boss, this green machine will pop up. When you use it, it'll ask you which of these that you would like to open. So there's where that second RNG roll comes in. So it is kind of cool. Like, I don't have either 24 or 25, but I do have 23 and 22. So if I beat her, I would get to pick which one of these I want to open. And let's see. Yeah, looks like 5 on those, 5 on those, 5 on those, and 5 on. I personally haven't seen any that have more than 5. And you can see the supposed drop rate. I'm just going to say supposed. I'm not going to get into that right now. But this is the supposed drop rate for the individual pieces that you would be trying to get out of that pattern. So if you don't have any of them, it would look like this. So there'd really be no reason for me to fight this particular boss because at the end I wouldn't have anything to open. But I could... Yeah, looks like I've got a couple for the Executioner and the Dead Bride. And currently stuck on the Devourer. So once you get to the Devourer, your pickup groups really need to be on point. Everybody needs to kind of understand the fight or you're going to have a tough time. He has a heal. It's pretty obvious. He throws down some green jugs that, attach to him and heal him. Everybody needs to focus on those immediately or he'll just re-heal to full health. If not everybody is aware of that, then you're just not going to beat him. And currently the groups that I've gotten with, usually 1 or 2 out of the 4 just realize how important it is to get those. So just a tip on Devourer. If you have any other tips on them, please feel free to throw it in the chat. But yeah, that is the end of the things I wish I knew before I started playing. Again, just kind of go back. If you're looking for a looter shooter with a little bit of depth, I can definitely recommend this. But if the grinding aspect of it is gonna put you off, then you might want to look elsewhere. Me personally, this has definitely pulled me away from Helldivers, especially. Just the constant progression versus what's going on with Helldivers right now just feels a lot better to me. And I've been playing a lot of that game since it first came out, so maybe I just needed a break for a minute, and this is just a nice, fresh change. So should be, don't call me a traitor, should be back in the drop pod here shortly. But I am going to definitely check out this game for a while. If you have any questions, would like to see anything specifically covered, maybe the different bosses, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, have a great day. This is Naxit, signing out.